In years past, I would watch some college football, particularly when we got to the playoffs and whatnot. And that's why you and I talk about Justin Jefferson. I watch him play and I'm like, are you kidding me? This guy is phenomenal. This year, I didn't even watch the national championship game. That's how much I just was not into college football this year. So that's a long-winded way of saying I don't have a draft crush this year. Here's what I do know, just based on history, is that these quarterbacks, again, are going to be overvalued, and teams are going to rush up to get one, and more than half of them are not going to pan out.
You hit it on the nail. I've been saying this on my live streams, and people are like hyping people like, oh, this guy's Trey Lance is the next Josh Allen. I mean, I get the comparisons. I get we have to do that. That's our job. We have to compare. But you're absolutely right, Jim. All these quarterbacks.
Let me do this for you, Ryan, because I wrote this out the other day. Like I didn't know we were going to talk about this, but I have these notes in front of me because I had been looking at some things. Okay. So let's go back. We typically say it takes 3 years for a player to develop and really establish who he is, right?
Correct.
So let's go back then let's start with 2017, right? So, and we're talking about first round quarterbacks taken.
Okay.
So 2017, we have Trubisky, Mahomes, and Watson. Great year. 2 of those 3 franchise guys. 2016, 3 taken in the first round. Goff, Wentz, and Lynch. None of them are with the team that drafted them.
Wow.
Go back the year before that, 2015. There were 2 taken in the first round. In fact, they were taken 1-2. Winston and Mariota, neither of whom are with the team that drafted them. Go back the year before that, 2014. 3 were taken in the first round. Bortles, Manziel, Bridgewater. None of them are with the team that took them. Go back the year before that. There was 1 taken in the first round. E.J. Manuel. He's not in the league. Go back the year before that. There were 4 taken in the first round. Luck, Griffin, Tannehill, Whedon. None of them are with the team that drafted him.
That's right.
So, and I can keep going down the list here. Go back to the year before that, 2011, to me, which speaks to what this potentially could be. There were 4 taken in the first round. Cam Newton, Jake Locker, Blaine Gabbert, and Christian Ponder. None of them are with the team that took them. 2 of them are out of the league. And Gabbert, as we know, is just bouncing around. So you want to go back a year before that to 2010? There were 2. Sam Bradford and Tim Tebow, neither of whom were in the league. The year before that, there were 3. Stafford, Sanchez, Freeman. Only Stafford is in the league, and he's not with Detroit anymore.
Wow.
Go back before that, you had Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco. The year before that, you had Russell and Quinn. The year before that, Young, Vince Young, Leinart, Cutler. I mean, so as we go, history shows us. And remember, don't look at it through the prism of today, but think back to that moment when the draft was about to occur, what everyone was saying and how they were hyping these guys, right? And you had to trade up. You got to get one of them. These can't miss guys.
Yes.
Well, history's telling us you're going to miss.
Right.
And that's what I fear is going to happen this year.
Great points. Great points. This is why you're on the BEASTwriter family, bro. This is why you good stuff. Jim, I'm telling you.
I'm just saying.
But people don't look at that, bro. Jim, people don't look at it. They just look at instant gratification. They don't look at the long-term gain. And if you're going to look at the long-term game, you have to delve into the past in order to predict the future, which is what exactly you just did. Bro, you hit it on the nail.
I'm just saying, I understand the importance of the position, and I understand why it gets overvalued. But if I were a GM, which I am not, my philosophy would always be, Ozzie Newsome taught me this.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yes, sir. For the most part, and I'm not saying this is exclusive, but for the most part, turn on the tape and the tape will tell you everything you need to know. Mm-hmm. Don't get caught up into all these outside things. And then you stay true to your draft board. When you start ranking players, stay true to it. And if that means that you build up a certain position, so be it. But you want to draft impact. You don't always want to be drafting up for potential. You want impact.
Jim, you are preaching to the choir, my man. That's exactly what I would do if I was GM. And again, Ozzie Newsome is the best GM ever. In fact, I have him ranked number 1. I have my own GM list. Eric DeCosta learned a lot from Ozzie Newsome, and Ozzie Newsome is the man. When I say the man, he's number 1. Number 1.
Yes. Yes.
I would go and take it a step further because a lot of teams do not let the board talk to them. They formulate these draft boards, and there's 2 types of draft boards. You have your vertical board, and then you have your horizontal board. So when you decipher between the 2 and you're sitting up and you're on the clock and you see some guy saying, you know what, we know this guy is way better than this guy on our horizontal board, but we have a bigger need here. So we're just going to diminish the value of the pick and select this player. Well, you're going to lose out on the valuation of that selection. So like you just pointed out, that's not Ozzie Newsome's MO. He always tends to go BPA regardless of need because everything else will work itself out in the end.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Sir. You
Boom.
know, that's where, what good is it to reach for a guy if you don't believe that he can actually play? You're then in the same position and you've wasted a first-round draft pick, So I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. Put it that way.
Let's just put it this way. If me and you were in the same war room and some guy was trying to do that, we'd be like, no. You're not walking up with that selection. Sit back, take a back seat. We're going to take over. Legit. Good points. Good points on dude. Ozzie Newsome was a genius. Oh my, I have so much respect for that guy. Again, number one in my book. Number 1.
Agreed.
Jeez, guy was a beast. Beast approved. All right, let's go ahead.